The ultimate, I love it when I'm reading emails from people who contribute what the staff doesn't.
Thank God for them, because otherwise we'd never get the information.
You're right.
Do you have to be so hurtful?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Some of us spend hours getting ready for
The
this.
ultimate question then becomes, I'm just having fun with the chief here.
It hurts.
The ultimate, you're too easily hurt. The ultimate question then becomes, where do we get moral clarity and how do we implement it? To that, I yield the rest of my time to much smarter men, starting with John Adams, followed by George Washington. John Adams, signer of Declaration and second president of the U.S., said, "It is religion and morality alone which can establish the principles upon which freedom can securely stand. The only foundation of a free constitution is pure virtue." We have no government armed with power capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. Isn't that something? The moment the idea is admitted into society that property is not as sacred as the laws of God, and there is not a force of law and public justice to protect it, anarchy and tyranny commence. If thou shalt not covet, and thou shalt not steal, were not commandments of heaven, they must be made inviolable precepts in every society before it can be civilized or made free. That's why our property rights are so enshrined in this country. Here's from George Washington's farewell address. Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. Let it simply be asked, where is the security for property, for reputation, for life, if the sense of religious obligation desert the oaths, which are the instruments of investigation in courts of justice? And let us with caution indulge the supposition that morality can be maintained without religion. Whatever may be conceded to the influence of refined education on the minds of peculiar structure, reason and experience both forbid us to expect that national morality can prevail in exclusion of religious principle. And the chief says, these guys were pretty good, right? He puts it right there. So,
Right, good.
These guys were pretty good. And then he says, what's coming up on the ride? Yeah.
Such, it's really funny that George Washington had Mike. The whole time you were reading the John Adams piece, I'm having this question about religion. George Washington nailed it. Whatever may be concealed to the influence of a refined education on minds of a peculiar structure, reason and experience both forbid us to expect that national morality can prevail in exclusion of religious principles. So it's not, I'm seeing that as not, you have to go to church, you have to go to Bible study, you have to worship. You just have to have a moral code, which is taught in the church.
And without reading the quotes of these forebears, we've been discussing the degradation of moral and ethical integrity in the country. And these fellows saw it 250 years ago.
Yeah.
A guy should print that out and keep it around.
I got it. I'm keeping John Jay's quote, too.
They're both very good.
I think those remarks are something we're not likely to hear from a current president.
No, or have we heard that from any president in the last 50 years?
I don't think anything quite that eloquent.
No.
I don't think anything quite that.
Maybe Jimmy Carter, but I was a kid then, so I can't confirm.
This is from Jim Dudley. Words mean things, as you have said, and I completely agree. When we see in the news and on the legacy media and everywhere is the use of the word democracy. Democracy is used constantly, especially by senators and representatives of our governance, especially on the DFL or left side. We are not a democracy. Democracy is to amount to socialism and communism. Under a democracy, the minority must bend to the will of the majority, no matter what the cost. John Jay said in your quote, anytime you want to use it said republic in the quote. Anytime you want to use the word democracy, because we've been kind of spoon-fed the last 20 years, you need to use the word republic instead. We are in the country of common sense, and we know that we are a republic for which it stands. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There's not tremendous meaningful differences between the word republic and democracy, but there is one crucial thing. We are not majority rule. Yeah. Majority rule can result in a great deal of problems.
I have always thought we were a representative democracy also, besides a republic. I thought that was the way the United States...
What does that mean?
That means you elect people to the people elect representatives to represent them, which is what
Joe,
we do. I mean,
go back to the "we are not a majority rule" quote. Let's talk about that a second.
Let me give you the definition first.
Yeah.
Is the United States a democracy or a republic? The short answer is that democracy and republic are frequently used to mean the same thing: a government in which the people vote for their leaders. This was the important distinction at the time of the founding of the United States, in direct contrast with the rule of a king or monarchy. In part because that context was clear to everyone involved in the American Revolution, democracy and public were used interchangeably in the late 1700s. Both words meant the power to govern was held by the people rather than a monarch. At the same time, it's true that there is nuance and difference between these words according to their historical use and etymology. Democracy comes from the Greek roots meaning rule by the people, and the most basic understanding of the word's original meaning refers to direct democracy as in ancient Greece. In a direct democracy, the people vote directly against or in favor of decisions, policies, laws, etc. Republic comes from the Latin roots meaning public good or public affair, used in ancient Rome to mean simply state or country, with reference to the representative democracy of the Roman public, the Roman Republic. The elected representatives in Congress are a contemporary example of this kind of government. Note that both direct democracies and representative democracies are considered democracies. They are both government by the people.
That was too much. You bowled me over.
So you could call it either, basically.
Yes.
But it's been driving. Has it been driving you guys crazy? It's been driving me crazy for years that everybody says democracy and not a republic.
And actually, I've always thought that's what it was. So it hasn't been driving
in the email, Joe, though, he said a democracy is majority ruling over the people. Isn't that what we have here in Minnesota for the last number of years?
No, we have an electoral college that prevents such a thing.
Okay.
We have...
For what it's worth, official government website, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, first sentence, United States is a representative democracy.
Okay. I don't have any trouble with that. The words are so closely aligned.
Yeah.
You brought this up and said that a couple of days ago, and